If I eat chocolate, I'll enjoy the coconut.
Live stream's on. Huh? She should be, but she probably just got out of work. She works till 3.
Okay. Not yet.
No, you're.
It is running. Yes.
Okay. I know. All right. It's 3 o'clock. We're gonna call this special city council meeting to order. Do a roll call.
Ian Martinez, District 1.
Cochran, District 4.
Houston Martin, District 2.
Valerie Solis, District 5.
Bruce Alexander, Mayor, and let the record show that Nicole Schreiner, District 3, is absent. Okay? As we do in all the meetings, we'll start with a citizen's comment. City council will hear comments from any citizen or visitor. Speakers must address their comments to the presiding officer rather than individual city council members or staff. Stand at the podium, speak clearly in the microphone, state your name, residential address before speaking. Speakers will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes for testimony. In accordance with the State Open Meetings Act, the City Council is restricted from discussing or taking action on items not listed on the agenda. Action can only be taken in a future meeting. Anyone want to make citizens' comments? As I normally do, I'll ask the second time. Anyone want to make citizens' comments? Hearing none, we'll close that part. We'll go to item 4, which is discussion items. And, we're going to do a budget workshop number 6, discussion only on the enterprise fund administration. Just so everybody's clear, this is a workshop, you cannot take action, it's discussion only. So Leroy, what's going on with this?
Yes, so thank you, Mayor and Council. So in front of you, you have the current administration budget, the proposed budget for next year. It was never in your binders because at that point in time, we didn't have that budget set up yet.
I want to make a point really quick on that. 24 and before, it was always separated out, part of it. Last year, it was combined with, spread out between all the, proportionally between the others. So that's why you didn't see it this last year. You didn't see it in the original one proposed, it's rolled in. But if you recall, the first budget workshop asked Leroy to separate it out. Let's go back to so you know what the administration is. Because what Leroy and I were talking this morning, and for example, when you look at Public Works says, commonly referred to as electric, gas, water, sewer, that's streets, drainage, garbage, and the administration. Right? Right? So you get true costs of what things are. Try to. Go ahead.
No, thank you, Mayor, for saying that. So,
It's still not up.
this, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I have a copy in front of you, right? So I want to keep playing with this until we figure it out. But in the meantime, we have John and Jeanette here from Public Works to present on the actual admin budget. I know I sent that earlier this morning, so sorry if I didn't get a chance to review it. If you did great, if not, then I apologize for that. So I'm going to open up to any questions that I have before we relay it up back to John and Jeanette.
So the jumps is just because it's a reporting structure, meaning if you look at 21 and then 22, it's pretty good. But that's because we just started to track accounting for it differently.
I
Hold it together?
don't think so.
Are you referring to like
I think so, and I wasn't here, but I'm gonna just take a stab at the change between 21 and 22. So was a change in leadership in this city, which may have accounted for things differently in the budget.
Okay.
That's what it would be.
Well-
Yeah.
If we look at the overall.
So so I'm just gonna I'm not gonna focus too much on that, except for, I don't know what odds of that. I
Right.
don't know if we want to hear it explain.
Yeah, so that was the
Okay.
year that we started separating out the salaries, or we did it out like a percentage, and so a lot of our salary, like my salary, finance, the city admin, part of Deborah's, accounts payable, and Hilda's, the accounting manager, is now part of that, expenditure, so that's gonna see that big jump.
Okay,
And so from that point forward, it's pretty much consistent in the sense of,
So prior to that, it was
it was a transfer.
a larger transfer.
Correct.
Now, it's so, we lowered the cash transfer and we did it in salaries and other things.
Correct.
So somebody could look at that and say, oh, the transfers went down, but they didn't.
The TV, is it on? There you go. There you go.
So regular salaries, how many,
I'm sorry.
how many?
no, it's no, I get it.
Right now we have about,
Are you talking about in public works?
Line item number one, regular salaries.
yes,
How many workers?
We have 24 in public works.
put it in the admin budget. that are
Oh.
moving. Give me a second.
Okay.
And the relocating funds for the water service expenses, cause he does more than just admin stuff. Is this transferring to?
Why? You question why?
Yeah, what, is this gonna be for his whole paycheck, or is it gonna be divvied out? For Mikey?
The very first one out, I would ask the same question. When you say you take funding for the water service, from the water department, do
It'll be his
you
entire,
a water employee or?
so right now he's classified as a water employee. And so from that, once we talk about the water budget next week, you'll see that he's one of the 5 individuals. But what we're proposing is moving him back to the admin, because that
What's he
position
do?
at one point in time was under the admin budget.
What's he do?
He currently, he reads the meters, the gas, electrical, water meters, monthly basis, he flushes the hydrants. He weeds, he mows, a lot of the mowing, probably about 10 different areas that are correct. So that's what he does on a regular basis, then he supports other departments and streets.
Picks up the mail.
Mail everything.
He drops off the local mail for.
I know, real estate checks to some.
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry, going back to your,
Thank you.
going back to your question, there's 12 total in that budget, but that includes part of my salary, part of city admin, part of finance, and part of accounting, and part of Deborah.
Okay.
But the actual admin budget right now is 7 salaries, that truly belong to, under admin 100%.
Okay. And the individual y'all were just speaking of, is he classified as an apprentice or an actual employee?
He's an employee, but his title,
Apprenticeship? What?
his title's under, water apprentice.
Apprentice. Okay.
He was the
So
meter.
that's the position he was hired against?
That's the position that we had that position open, and so we moved him from, he was under admin originally, moved him
I
to that
think
water.
it's on the
He was
meter
a meter reader at first, and we had regular meters prior to us.
And so we went to the
Smart meters.
smart meter.
smart meter and moved them into the.
What do you do because they get down?
He has, well, still the gas, like 124 total, it's still on a monthly basis, and those are gas, electric, and water.
And he manually read those, to that, he goes and actually reads them, right?
I'm sorry?
Mikey goes and actually reads those meters.
Correct. Is he salary or is that hourly?
He's hourly.
Okay, so the salaries include salary and hourly, or it's all
It's all
inclusive?
inclusive,
Okay, okay.
yes.
Let me back up, dollars back. Want to clarify something you just said. In that total, there's a portion of administrative, there's a portion of finance, there's a portion of city secretary. Portions. How many full-time equivalents other than those portions?
7.
7.
Now,
That does not include Mikey. That's, Mikey is in, it's a little new connection, but currently we have.
I'm talking, anybody, the proposed budget,
The proposed, there's 12 total, 7 actually belong to admin 100%, and then the others, are like my salary, Deborah's salary, part of the salary, part of the city admin salary, part of the accounts payable salary, part of the county admin salary.
7 full-time.
Yes.
John, Jeanette,
Sierra,
Ricky,
Ricky,
Rob,
Patricia, Robbie,
and we got April,
Our inspector.
and then we got April.
That helped a little bit. It's still a little interesting, I guess.
Do we need to list them out? Is that better? So that you know what
Yes,
and
please.
who was in it?
I have a list of employees that I can hand out right now for you guys. And yeah, I have employees sorted by department, so you can see admin and you can see water.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to add something, just generally speaking. And, you know, this is catch up, but if you can't do it, it's okay. But under personal services, if we could list full timers, part timers, and then what monies go to personnel beyond that.
Okay.
What money goes to what? And like the ones that are divided, the people that are split up.
Yeah.
You know, if we could have that as a reference, a way to review, you know, how many people we're talking about this job. Because every one of these meetings we've had personal services, but it's just a number.
Right.
That's just.
That's, this, what she just gave you is something I asked Leroy to ask him to do, and I'm glad they did.
These are all the full-time,
What
100%
position
installed.
are really are. This, you have this for the enterprise fund.
Oh, we have
You don't have it for the other
for
funds.
the other funds. This would be nice. There's no part-time.
Would it be more beneficial to you to know, say, my salary and how, I know part of it's in the general fund, but then know the amount that's coming out of that for each one of us?
It's a
To where
percentage.
you would know our full amount that we make?
Well, it just gets confusing when we talk about percentages here, percentages there. And I'm just looking for a number of people. You know, first, I don't need to know the dollar amount.
Yes.
No percentage of this.
We can do that, we can add that.
Thank you.
But going back to what Jeanette passed out, these are all the full-time employees that would fall under the admin budget. Okay, so there's 7 individuals here that I mentioned.
Right.
And then what makes up the 12 is of the other 5 from City Hall. Are their salary. On the next page, yes.
Go ahead.
And what is longevity compensation?
So the longevity, for every year that an employee is here, they get $100 per year. So that you get the year 1, 20 years, you get $100, and then it goes up from there. It's a way to try to retain employees.
So you is that kind of how you get vested?
No.
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 No, originally the city set that up 20 years ago, 30 years ago. As $500 was a max, it was $3 per month of employment. So basically, it was given every year. And then.
We increased it a few years ago.
The previous administrator or something like that changed it to what it is now.
Maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, but it never got changed by ordinance, but it got changed by policy.
The council voted on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the longer an employee stays here, they're eligible for obviously retirement, they stay here year after year,
That's correct.
and then they get $100.
Each year we get a certain amount. I'll get some.
Somebody's here for 10 years and get $1,000.
Think of it like this. The city funds, of course, the utility system is different. You gotta think of the utility system is a for-profit business owned and operated by the city. General fund, taxes, you gotta be tied and really gotta explain a lot more things. Utility system and airport fund, your businesses. However, generally speaking, the city cannot give a bonus to anybody, including stuff like that, unless it's budgeted. So you budget it for the reward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
So is it not budgeted
Yes, it is.
for 2026?
It's remember, we don't every year.
This is in the admin budget for next year. Everything is embedded with all the other, enterprises.
Okay.
So that's why that 26 is blank.
See that that $1.3 million? It was spread amongst the 4 utilities and gardens and others. It was spread between a drainage utility. It's spread out over 6 of them based on the percentage of contribution to the overall budget. Obviously, the electric paid the biggest share of the water and the rest of it.
When it's all said and done, you're gonna have a new admin budget And those other budgets, are
Will come
reduced by that
accordingly.
much, yeah.
The total's still the total, it's just how you account for it.
Correct, yes, sir.
That was that one, it's kind of with the bottom of that first page, that's that, $100 that we get per year.
Okay.
That's the budget.
Okay.
So we were on the salaries, I'm just curious, we don't do any kind of an intern program or
We try to
hire
intern-
seasonal.
Seasonal, we do have seasonal employees. We've had an intern, and it was Sierra 3 years ago. She worked her way up, and now she's over at the Public Works Department. And then there was another individual that inquired about maybe several months ago that Ms. Scott had possibly wanted to come and do internship work for school. And so, but that never really led anywhere. But other than that, no, we don't offer an actual, let's offer an actual intern program and post it out and see what we get.
Used to, this is a way back when too, used to work with the, vocational education school, to work with Julie Wagner, with that profession. We used to have a couple of guys, or even, I think one summer I had two guys and two young ladies that worked, went through the school and they did different things.
Now, did you pay them or?
Yeah, they paid them. Yeah, they paid them. They were just a little more minimum wage, but they did that through the school program, through the tension class. And then actually, the person that eventually became, when I retired, Public Works secretary, the admin assistant, actually started the city. So there's a lot of different things. You know, it's kind of like I brought into you guys last week, the pencils, we used to do all kinds of public education stuff, work with the school. It worked. We had pencils, pens, rulers, whatever. But little things like that. PR goes a long way.
Just,
How are we sitting at for overtime this year?
Again, this is overtime for admin only on this part, but still, yeah.
So you know what?
There's 5,500
I'm
listed here.
I don't have it breakdown by admin only. I have it, it's for every department, and some of the admin. The only hourly staff we have
It's
is
Patricia, Sierra, and
April. Whereas we have 3 hourly, the rest are all salary.
If we add Nike, it would be.
I
And
think
they pull overtime?
Yeah, give me an example of how the admin pulls over.
they're on call.
Admin is,
Admin?
No, the 3 that I mentioned, the hourly employees are. The admin is
Yes.
not.
but if they're admin, they're in the admin, so it's department, so. Right?
Wait, I'm sorry. Well,
The 3 people you mentioned.
right.
Are they included in this salary, admin?
Yeah, they're in the admin
So
salary.
you got
Don't think of
admin
admin,
overtime.
don't think of admin as they're all administrators or they're temp employees or temp.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I got it, because the salary people have to make a certain definitions or requirement that may or may not apply.
I'm just wondering.
So I'm back to your question too. Who
Yeah.
gets overtime or what,
How do they
give me an
get
example of
overtime?
overtime for an admin employee.
For one of those 3.
They answer after our call, correct?
Patricia, when she stays late on the billing, she has stayed late sometimes when there's issues with the computer software, or she has to pay. whatever.
The other thing,
Yeah,
I know with April here, we have employees up until 5 o'clock. She sets the totally back out. So, I mean, there's always overtime in those areas just because of the
But they-
nature of that position.
But don't they also have a phone
Yes.
that they answer? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now, and we're going to get into that later on about the communication portion of another system. But right now, they carry a phone in case our guys are on outage or emergency. They call them and tell them, we need you to set up an info, do this so that we keep working. And they have an administration. So they are on call sometimes.
That's fine. Those people have to yell out when the ISO don't plug.
Yeah, timely.
Or the misinformation goes out.
But we don't yell at people.
So a phone allowance, then, there was nothing listed there.
No, that's just one. At one point there was, but to look at history, we kept it there just so we can go back and look at the 5-year history. So that nobody's in the phone allowance. And it's-
So they just pass around a cell phone.
and on the overtime piece, I'm just gonna say it, because I go through this, it's totally expensive. but we don't have any, and I know the answer, but I'm just making sure everybody knows if they work overtime to turn it in. There's no edict or underneath.
Correct.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
same as well.
We don't need any, determine any of the Fair Labor Standards Act law.
Right.
Yeah.
Overtime consistent for the one that does the billing. Have you found it consistent that she has to stay late to complete those tasks?
Recently, yes, I'm gonna be honest with you, because of the situation, the issues we've been having with our income and our billing system right now.
Okay. So it is a software issue, a software, that's, okay.
And do we have a budget or are we looking to upgrade the software or that doesn't happen?
Yes, we've been looking into that, mentioned
Yeah,
it to
and
them.
from our last meeting, I did get in contact with the director, but it just needs to be over an actual quote.
Is that 10?
Yes.
Something
Yeah.
10,
Yeah,
Yes.
in code 10, yeah. Okay. Close.
Anything else on salary before we continue?
Right. Because, yeah, because out of our current budget right now, it was 100% paid out of the public works admin budget. But their duties are shared between other departments as well, not just public works.
And that's because they're not funding the other departments.
It's just always been under, that position always fell under, enterprise, under the public works, position, but this position also handled a lot of the day-to-day general fund, airport, whichever. But right now, she's coded 100% out of that, enterprise fund, public works fund. And so with the conversation with, John Bennett, is that maybe a portion of her salary over to the general fund, because she does a lot in the general fund.
What does she do for the general fund?
Well,
Besides that, to the
besides that, there comes people coming in for permitting, or not permitting, well, permitting also dealing with the new development with those permits, she deals with.
she deals with those, or she said?
She takes the payment.
Payment.
Okay.
So, I mean, she does do a lot of general fund stuff throughout the day, she really does. But she also does.
Put up decorations today.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
She did too.
Okay,
I see
so,
her great profile.
so I'm just trying to gameplay this in my head. So you move April's salary to the general, a portion. It's kind of the same thing as far as some of your salary being taken out of the
Mhm.
enterprise.
Correct.
So what's the,
Well,
It's a breakdown.
but
Was it?
what's, is the majority of her salary? Oh, so all her salary
Which percentage is
so you just want a percentage out of
it wouldn't be the full salary, we would
And we're talking about the percentage at this point.
How much
We do like
percentage?
a 60-40 split, 60% enterprise, 40% general fund. I wouldn't do 50-50. I think it's, keep her more in the enterprise fund, the majority of her time, and then the other 40% would be general fund, as an example.
Why does it make a difference to you? Just curious.
Well, it reduces his budget, his overall budget, but on the flip side, it's gonna increase the general fund budget by whatever that amount is.
Right.
So you're really not saving anything. It's just moving.
So technically, who's her boss? Who's her
I've asked her that multiple
So,
times. She said she-
Day to day, she reports to me,
Lead, right?
but no, not for.
No, I
But,
I want to hear this, but I've asked.
for day to day, it's always been, she felt, not felt, but it's always, she reported to the finance, that position.
Okay,
And when I got here, there was no need for her to report to the city admin because that means she's busy doing other
Okay.
things. Even though she falls under the enterprise budget, under John's budget, but John's in a different building,
Right.
she's over here. And so it just happened to fall that way.
okay, I just want to clarify some things because, for example, is it John, is it Ricky, is it Jeanette, is it Deborah, is it you?
Ultimately,
Who is the person that she
ultimately,
reports
it
to?
would be John Gomez.
Because I've heard all the different ones I just said.
Ultimately, it would be John Gomez because he's the one in charge of the entire budget. And then for day to day, because the fact that I'm here day to day, she's
Right.
here,
Right.
it goes to me.
Yeah, we don't approve her time. But who does her annual appraisals? You do her annual
Because
appraisals.
I'm here, I mean, again, we're here every day together versus not because they don't want to, just because they're in a very different building. So,
And she helps all of us over here. She helps me sometimes if I need some things. So she's kind of the jack of all trades.
I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
But I mean, it would make sense moving forward, yeah, let's definitely make the switch where she's part enterprise, part general, just because of the nature of what she does.
So who provides her the directives on things that she needs to do, that they change from day to day activities?
When it comes to enterprise, it would be Jeanette, John.
Okay,
When it comes to general fund
so
stuff,
she has multiple.
she does,
Yeah.
she does, I mean, she just does this place, I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's all.
Well, as you know, previously, that position was under Public Works years and years ago.
I know.
And basically, I will say what she does now is probably 3 to 4 times what the previous, because she does do several things.
I understand.
But that's, you know, it's it's a little confusing with it being
I know
over
it's a
here and over there.
multitask Position, I understand.
No, it's confusing because they're over there and she's over here, and it's always been
No.
kind of overall.
So if it's split, and I'm trying to figure this out. So if it's split, that increases your overall budget? Is that what we're saying?
Mhm.
Increases?
But it bumps up the general fund where we have to slash $600,000.
We're gonna cut.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just looking at this.
Well, it's even, in my mind, I think it's even more, because the 60-40 percentage from that we're paying out of the, so it's, I think should be the 60-40. I think it was higher last year, 75-25. If I'm correct.
For,
Which is out
for
this
some of
year.
our side, yeah, right now it's 75-25, 75% enterprise, 25% general fund. And that position is very unique just because of where she's at, where they're at, and so it's kind of, I mean, we're gonna be here for her with that position regardless of where she could happen. But I mean, it just, that's a little, it's kind of.
Got it.
Okay, I'm sure this will be.
When we get that breakdown as far as whose percentage that we were talking about, that'll help.
Okay,
To be able to see it.
yeah. Okay.
Any other questions on salary?
Yeah, tell me about the retirement. You have a 5% match and what? It's
Two to-
5% TMRS and then you have,
We have that and we have the 457 as well.
so you have 2 retirement plans.
We put them together.
But we have 2 different ones, yes.
But only, not everybody's on the other one.
Yeah,
It's optional.
correct.
And it's what kind of match? 2%?
It's 2%, yes, sir. And we do have more people, as we, every year, as, I guess, there's probably about maybe 20.
We know it's 5%, right? TMRS is a 2 to 1, 5%.
Yes.
10-year vesting, 5-year
5-year
vesting,
vesting.
5-year vesting, maybe 60 with 10 years service, 20 years any age, right?
Yep.
So we get pretty close, right? My understanding, I've already been approached by somebody that wants to take it to 8%.
Yeah, I got email.
They might have went up.
That there's a
Jane.
local community in this Meade County that's considering taking it 8%.
Well, the max before was
It's a 2 to 1
7.
match.
Yeah, the max before was 7, and then TMRS voted to raise it to 8%, up to 8%,
Yeah, well,
a couple of years ago.
you gotta look at all that. I want to ask, is the city fully funded, or do we have an unfunded liability associated with retirement? Is that fully, are we fully funded?
I think we are.
We are.
I asked the question last time, we'll get it later. How many employees are all retired in the city? We'll get that later.
Did y'all answer the question about the water credits? Because I didn't check it.
I don't know. Taking them out of water, putting them on this?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why he's a water employee.
It doesn't do much for flushing, but he's not licensed, he's not, exactly.
He has.
So he's a.
And I realize y'all just got this, budget.
This morning.
Yeah.
That's right, that question seemed like kind of all over the place, but.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Can we we go moving forward?
Yes, unless somebody has a question on a page, okay, let's move on.
Don, you gonna take the rest?
Sure. I'll do it like last, I don't believe it was the line item. Unless you do have questions, which I will entertain.
Yes.
Sure.
Not on the second page. I'm gonna go to the third page.
This is huge.
The third page? Yes.
Just jump, let's go back
Yeah,
to
we're
it.
gonna go to the third page.
Dive in, let's go.
Telecommunication, what is that encompass? Are we talking, is it just like a field station and it kind of like, can you walk me through what this
Yes.
telecommunications is?
Yes, this is,
Hometown grid?
Hometown Grid is a new communication, application or platform where it's more, one-on-one, or like you mentioned earlier, Ms. Martinez, where we don't have to have somebody get the wrong information out. This system is better equipped to give us mapping to, a caller will instantly give, a response for the system.
Yeah, so,
Response to the system, whether, it's an emergency or outage or what have you, and tell them we are en route, or we got the response, we're en route, what's your address, and it'll communicate with the person talking verbally, or the person who can text us either way, and it'll put it on a map, and responder, which will be one of our on-call personnel, whether it's water, sewer, gas, electric, those folks will respond, and those folks that will be carrying those phones will be the ones responding to those calls. It provides automatic customer updates, so that if that person, the original person who made the call, or others are in the area that made the call, they can check to see, they'll send them a response that tells them it's been reported already. A lot of times we don't know that it's been reported. They'll say, oh, well, did anybody make this call, or did anybody acknowledge it, and how do we know if it's already reported? This will put it on our map, which we will have on our website. It's a better system than what we have. We don't have any of this right now. We've been working on this for over a year to try and implement something like this. And we've had others come to us with even more cost than what this is showing.
So we don't have this currently,
No.
this is you requesting next year, okay.
Well, I'll say this, it's been approved, it's been assigned, since it was under the budget that was required by, the city administrator. It was, approved by him, and we haven't set it up yet because we have other, our data, that's what it is, our data systems, we get the information from them, haven't been, all together yet with the software that they have. And the mapping, our GIS mapping, is still, we need to do that and be created for us. So we're still in the implementation portion of this. Our guys still need to be trained prior to us even setting it out too.
Would you say that it was in last year's budget?
No.
Year before budget?
No, it's not.
So it's not budget?
Current.
So it's not.
This is the first year.
Yeah.
This is the first year,
Starting on
so it hasn't been approved yet.
not by council, not a
Yeah.
budget. Not a budgeted expenditure.
Well,
So,
That's a loaded question here.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard for you to put in that position, but, I'm not trying to get you,
Yeah.
No.
that part of it,
We just-
but we're just trying to find out.
There's not an actual line item for that, but between the various budgets, we're able to go back and transfer it and pay it out into those accounts.
But this particular project is not budgeted, right?
No, it was never actually budgeted necessarily.
that's why we're asking for it
So
now.
it was pulled out of other things, put together, but it was never actually approved on.
Correct.
Right. It was blended in all the other projects, because this wasn't even a budget last year.
I understand.
So it was all implemented in all the other.
So, I got it. So you point now you want to implement the whole thing, so now you look at both.
Yes.
So is this replacing the on-call system that we've been using for the past few years where we call the number and it transfers to the on-call person?
Will this get an answer or a ringing,
No, you get
or a
an answer.
distance front, whatever?
And
That,
an immediate
got
response.
a lot of people.
And we're not relying on
Yeah.
the map and on the computers to give people updates, are we? Because like when power's out, when the resident will call, the initial resident will call in and report a, electric outage, they will have the option, they can leave a text or voicemail. As soon as they leave that, they're gonna get an immediate response back to a link, and that link's gonna allow them to go straight to that map. Then also, message will go straight to the on-call electric person, who's gonna say, en route, have arrived, here's the problem, and then, electric restored. So if 10 more people call in after that who happen to be in the same subdivision, they're gonna get the same immediate response. Or they'll have an option to even look at that map and say, okay, it's already been reported. Even though on the status, so the map on the back of y'all's is kind of an example, I know it's not a practical map, but it's an example of what the individual will look at. They do not need to download the app, they don't need to do anything different, no charges, that we go to set to the phone, they just open up the link and go straight to the map. That's gonna be some people's question.
Does the system operate, does the system answer on second ring, the third ring, the 10th ring? Because we're relatively impatient.
He said that he said he needs to go that.
You follow them, no, the 3 rings are hanging up, we're
I'm
calling
just curious when they call
somebody
in,
else,
somebody else
and
needs
then
to
they call
say,
them.
What we have now is a long process of taking
Yeah.
Okay, good comment, because
I do like the concept, especially
Yes.
with the growth.
he should,
It's not as much of a burden on public works. But I think at some point we'll probably receive a presentation about what it is, how it supports, how it enhances what you currently have and what it can provide and how that's gonna be able to help your department.
And then updates like when the first one hits and we're using this system, what bugs we found, pros, some of the issues that we've encountered and what we're gonna do to fix them.
Can we add to that, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask this question, can we add that to one of our next workshops?
what, a presentation? Is that what you're asking?
Well, the next one we're gonna talk about is, we're gonna start talking about the utilities, so that you can easily flow that in with the utilities, that's part of the on-call. You can easily flow that in without having to name it as a separate item.
Is this, I want to ask, is this program like the ones the co-ops have? Because Bandera Co-op, when I call in and say I have an outage, it tells me it's already been reported. And then by my phone, it will show me how long it's been
They
out.
call it CPS trouble.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I wondered, it's probably,
And that's my next question is, because with the,
50 cube.
with our old on-call system, if, so many people are calling, you get the busy signal.
Yes,
And you don't get through.
yes,
Well, citizens encounter that
that
with
was
this.
my question. Are we gonna get an answer, or people are gonna be screaming, they won't answer the phone, and I keep calling, and I get nothing but a busy signal.
Yeah.
Let me
well,
call
I-
someone.
No, it's an automatic restoration, it will automatically send you.
Okay.
Good.
No matter how many no matter how many.
Okay, it does happen.
And this system also documents where those outages were, in case we ever needed to say that we have a major outage. It documents everything that took place on that outage, whether it was flooding.
So you can review it.
For tracking
Yeah.
that history before that.
John, that's why you got some of the
That's
calls direct, when I get a call, and I call Scott and say, hey, come on, man, we can't
Yeah.
get through, I got it, and then you get a call direct.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
you're getting the direct calls.
I did the same thing, I
Okay.
called Scott.
Yeah, okay, your time's coming. Okay, let me shift gears a little bit here on your TML insurance. So, 24 was a $49,000 premium, now you're calling it a 40. Did our insurance rates go down? But they did, wow, that's
what's
awesome.
this?
Or did we reassess the percentages they're assessed to?
They didn't go down. They did not go down.
You sure that number shouldn't be closer to 50 or more?
We haven't got the re-rate, but I'm pretty sure they will not go down.
Sewer was,
It has
Yeah.
this historical average number as
It's
the
40.
proposed this year.
but your actual in 24 is 49, so I don't see where it would be under 50.
Something down to
Right.
20,000.
We don't have an
She
actual.
was lost 10 grand. You have no control over that.
And until we get the actual final numbers, this will be adjusted just as our health insurance.
I know, but for discussions, I'd rather put it at 50 and
Estimate high than.
That's fine.
because that's a $10,000
Oh, yeah.
delta, which could be a big lot, a big difference. at the end.
Okay, you can make that change.
Okay, I just wanted to point that out. And of course, that's not as hard to deal out with as far as percentages as the others do, because, yeah, so the systems. Yeah, something about that, workers' comp and all that, just.
So going back to the hometown grading, are y'all, what y'all's thoughts are? Okay with
No, yeah. Keep talking.
What, cause John and Jeanette are here, I mean, what y'all feel like it's
My individual opinion is that I would like to see more
like a
information.
presentation on it, maybe?
Yeah, we did,
John, are they gonna come
At
out?
a council meeting.
I like what we do.
We,
I like the concept of it, I do, it's just how it all works out. And, you know, like with everything else that comes up, it's not that I'm against it, it's just you gotta look at the ROI.
Sure.
Return on investment, and is it, and if you entered into it, what's the commitment, is there a trial period, is there a overall multi-year commitment to it, or what is it? It's really,
It's not a-
recurring costs and things like that, so, but something new, it's a whole lot easier to get through a, at worst case, a one-year trial versus getting a long-term commitment. This may not be something we want.
Right,
Yeah,
this
well,
is-
This is a one-year trial, just to see how this goes.
Okay.
I think this coincides with what we discussed during the workshop. How do we manage growth?
Right,
This will happen.
well, bear in mind, and I have this conversation with Leroy almost every day. We, lucky him, we are in the customer service business.
Yes.
The fact is, we have utilities, but underlying is customer service. Everything we do has to deal with that. Everybody has a voice, everybody gets an opportunity to be heard, and we owe everybody some sort of an explanation about why we do what we do when we do it. And not just because I said so. And I'm not saying that happens, but it has. But, so we just keep that in mind, and if we have an opportunity to improve on that customer service through something like this, then that becomes a win. Does that make sense? So that's what we're always looking at. We're not looking necessarily at what, I know this is gonna sound awful, we're not necessarily looking at what makes it easier for us, but what makes it better for our customers.
To piggyback off your statement, this platform will allow us to also give courtesy, reminders of, have a future bill,
Sure.
disconnections, courtesy reminders of abnormal high consumption water used in regular leak. And so you can individualize and take out an address, yeah, it's gonna be so perfect, because right now, April does those daily calls for us, and it's a lot, because you have a lot of high consumption, and so.
All of those little things add up, and then there's
And then that frees April up to do it.
there's value to a lot of that stuff.
And
So
a
that's
lot
what
of
we
people,
do.
they don't want to answer calls, but as soon as I told them, we can text later, and so,
True.
this interaction with us, so.
Oh, man, just.
So there, go ahead.
So, you've got a sentence here, says that the funding also supports essential recurring costs for cell phones, internet services, office telephone line, and other communication systems required for daily utility operation. I thought we had internet squared away.
No, that costs, yeah, that's it, that's the
Well-
commission fee is for spectrum.
Remember, we have our primary, which is Verizon, which is free. We also have our secondary spectrum.
Okay, well, if we're after this hometown thing, that's what,
What, it was actually separated by different color, but I took color off, and I apologize for that. But this is not the entire.
She had that way.
no, okay, cause I was like,
I had no time, I had
I mean,
concerns.
it all falls under telecommunications.
right, I'm just saying, but the way this reads, that reads that
Yes.
this is gonna fall under hometown.
No, it was separated with my color, but I took the
Okay,
color off.
okay.
Let me jump to another one on this page, Val, you understand this one. The ADP services. Okay. That's a contract service, but that's HR and payroll. So that's additional to the, and it's, you'll find out in every fund. Years ago, staff did that. It's done as a contract change the last few years to go out and do it now. It's argumentative about the HR provision contract. payroll.
It is, our employees are very happy with ADP.
I understand that.
But it does a lot for the employees that will say.
I understand that.
What any code 9 does, any code 9 doesn't offer a lot that ADP offers. And the fact that they have their own personal portal that they can take with them if they ever need. They have all their data here from the city, they're gonna pull up their statements, their yearly statements, everything's there, and I mean, this is a really good service that they provide, and I hope that I can pray that y'all kind of leave that the way it is, because it is a big help.
I'm only making the point out,
Yeah.
overall total is about a $70,000 annual contract for 65 employees. So it's a cost of about $1,000 per employee to have that program.
Y'all are also on it though. You can go on your, well, but
Don't worry, cut me a check.
they may not but they may not, y'all may not realize you can go on your portal.
I'm just pointing that out so everybody fully understands what it is
Yeah.
and what the cost is.
I'm just not a fan of relying on it for training, especially when issues arise.
Such as.
Yeah.
The hostile work environment, refresher training, it says HR documentation, do you rely on that to do training? Annual trainings and everything, or?
Not
attorneys.
annual training, only if they don't, so we have annual training,
Okay.
well, someone cannot do it.
Okay.
For some reason, the employee wasn't here because they were out sick, whatever, then we'll refer
The
them to
extension,
AEP.
yeah, I
Yes, but for actual annual trainings, it's live.
Okay.
It's our
That's the
attorney's
HR
office.
Documentation and it's like training.
But I will say, it does have a lot, it has hundreds and hundreds of videos
Oh, yeah.
for supervisors, for managers, for.
The hardware store used to have ADP,
Oh,
and
okay.
the new owners didn't like it.
Well, y'all are supposed to be looking at on y'all's Surface Pro. It will come up every so often that you're supposed to be doing security, video training.
I understand that, but.
So, I mean, but
Just
they
do
put that out.
this.
But they put it out and so they let you know.
I understand. I'm very familiar with it. I know the ADP, but like, my wife did velocity, but it's the same type of thing.
Hmm.
The HR and payroll.
Random question, but this ADP services, is this just in the enterprise plan or is it
No,
also in the?
It's spread through, it's citywide.
General fund and-
That's what I say. John made comment that he has 25 employees, 24, 25 employees. Okay, there's about 65 total.
Total.
What's that? It covers the whole city.
Can we go back to each? Furniture, $1,500, desk shelf, and separate, who's that for?
What do you say?
We're gonna move you from, on the last line.
Oh.
Furniture. Because we are experiencing no room in our public works, employee. We're gonna move you from my office to a storage room, and to allow more folks to get to utilize my office. So we're gonna.
How big's your office?
Big as I.
So I think that's probably what you would like.
And then you would go in the storage.
Storage room, that would, yeah.
But we're gonna buy the Connex to put all the stuff that's in the storage room, to put in the Connex. We don't have.
$1,500 up for desk shelf?
No, that's also includes chairs, chairs.
Well, I just, repurpose.
Oh, right there? You know what, Don's not really, I mean, he's good, but people would ask me about furniture, I said, take it out, don't worry about it. And after that, I said, take it out, don't worry about it. And then later on, in the councilman realizes, he looked at me and says, yeah, because you gotta find it in another place, I said, well, of course I will.
I'm all about repurposing, if you got desks or something sitting somewhere else.
Well, we cleaned all our furniture out, so there's really not anything left too
But
much.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cut it in half, he'll be happy, he'll be okay.
under the subscriptions, dues and subscriptions, you guys got Scribe software subscription for documented departmental procedures and creating standardized training guides.
Yeah,
How do you do that right now?
I'm sorry.
How do you do that right now?
So right now, it's a platform that we're able to use online. It actually mirrors the actual person that was, so you go onto the computer, if I'm training, I'm doing building, I'm trying to train someone, which is a long process of time. So it copies every single thing that that person's doing with the mouse, and it actually heads it, circles it. You can do a training guide, which will take a person maybe 2-3 hours, you can probably do it less than 45 minutes. It prints out really nice, and there's so many guys that are even doing public works that has to have that more electronic, and this program helps us.
And then you print it off and put it in their folder.
Correct, so we can keep it in the library, electronic library, we can put it out in reminders, so anytime things are, that's what they're trying to implement, is a lot of cross training in their departments. So this is what's gonna help us get there faster. So when I foresee this, well, once this is done, once we're finalized with all these procedures and policies and then we're planning to get rid of this program. But it's about $40 a month that we're using this Stripe program for. And we're using it between all of them. We're using it, right now we're using it for admin purposes. But then we can split it on to the other departments. So electric, water, data, training, that's as well.
And that'll include all their OSHA training.
You could.
It's part of their job.
Oh, the OSHA training, on the
No.
training,
There's that promotion.
training and education, yeah.
Kara, government's exempt. from
Exactly.
state
That's right, and they keep telling me that.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm just looking at, you know.
But we do
But
implement,
you do as much as you
implement
can,
best practices, yes.
right, but you don't have to follow everything.
No.
And TML has a good training program.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
Okay, well, that's why I was asking you, you had this for training, I didn't know that stuff, no longer. If that's gonna pull that in as well.
Yeah, training, we have a line item for education training.
Okay, no, I was looking at your subscription, cause you had here for training.
Supplies, yeah.
Oh, we do employee training for like, when we do black flow training to keep up with black flow management, the building, any other kind of office training, yeah.
Well, in some of your public professional books too, as the, and I'm gonna say it's tough to know, as the guys move more towards, especially for renewal hours, they do online training. Online training, you really like to have the book, so you gotta buy the book separate and then you value the book, so you gotta keep up with those training values.
Oh, yes. And then I saw under janitorial, you guys buy janitorial supplies, but you also pay for candy.
Like that.
Yeah, janitorial supplies, so our toilet paper, napkins, that kind of supplies like that.
That's not furnished under the contract.
That's not covered?
No.
No,
No.
No, the
They do not.
janitor just keeps them off and takes out the trash.
correct, we buy trash bags, we buy.
That's not the first time we've seen this thing. It's
No.
been
Yeah.
for our budget.
Well, it's for everybody. They take care of all the
So
buildings.
custodial services.
Yes.
Okay, but if I'm reading this, so for public works, you're budgeting 7,000. Airport is budgeting, I think it was like 8,000 that we saw out of the general fund for the same person.
Well, how Jana King does this when we went out for bids, they bid it per square foot of the building. So it depends on this building and the smaller buildings. They went through and that's how we bid out on any of them that came in. It was per square foot.
What's the terms, I mean, when is that contract?
It's ongoing. It's whenever you want to.
It's a monthly?
We are per year, but I'll have to look and see. It's usually,
I'm just curious, because I want to resurrect the same question I asked before, is I would think for any services we have, we want to try to get our contracts coincide with our budget fiscal year.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
so we're not,
yes.
especially if there's any changes and stuff like that.
Right.
Coincide with fiscal years.
They don't go up. I will say that.
So
The
years are more.
But I guess from my perspective, if we're looking at some point when we get to the cuts, I would like to know what the contract says because
When you get to a total amount so much, then you start talking about full-time position versus.
Well, I can say on theirs, they come here 5 days a week. We all three, airport probably 2 to 3. I mean, it varies on the
Right.
locations. They do not go up. I mean, what they bid out, it stays the same. It was per square foot, whatever we decide to do.
I know where I was at before, those were after our own business hours.
They are.
So
It's
they're
made
not- they're
for
not
purpose.
disruptive.
right,
Yes.
but what's
Sorry.
I understand.
2025, 2026, what has the city paid for this one specific vendor
Got it.
service? That's what I would.
Good question.
And actually, we do have that, that's part of the requested, the puppy, so that number's in
Okay.
So Leroy,
Hello.
in, where we have departments like this, or, line items that cross departments or multiples, is there a way in your computer that you can total without too much work,
Yeah.
with regardless of?
by department or by?
No.
Vendor.
Just the,
By
You can do vendor.
The total vendor.
janitorial
Oh, yeah.
supplies.
yeah, and what I was,
We do it really quick.
we have that income control vendor report, a year to date, it shows exactly what we paid out as of today.
So, so we don't have to worry about department.
No.
And then that would get you along with your question.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and Leroy's working on that.
Sorry.
No, no,
Well, and
no,
look at-
it's-
Catching up.
I'll go a little step further. Leroy, you're probably gonna hear this for the first time, but I asked him this stuff a year ago. The contracts for all our vendors, which I got most of them, but go a little step further, how much does each one cost us total?
In that spreadsheet that y'all are gonna get, we have a, 25, 26 total at the end of the year, and then we have a current total that we're at as of today. For
Right.
that service.
Right.
So you see how it compares.
But you see it like a total contract, what's a total amount, just like this.
Yeah.
And so you could just, in one way, very quickly do a semester. That would make really helpful.
So then,
Yeah.
under general supplies,
Yep.
we got paper, cake, plates, cups, utensils. Oh, right, right.
I pick them up at Sam's, I'll tell you now. When we go to Sam's, we pick them up.
The next line down, 2 lines down from, same page, 2 lines down, line 205.
Under that
supplies.
supplies?
No, general supplies, general supplies.
Postage,
Secretary.
The second page.
No, but that-
Okay. Postage meter, that's the night utility, right? You get free stamped envelopes, pre-postage on the envelopes?
mm-mm.
Or
No.
you run them all through a postage machine?
She runs it through bulk mail, so the,
machine.
It is less.
Okay, so you got a bulk permit,
correct.
Right.
Bulk
Yeah.
permit.
okay,
She runs it in the
okay,
mail, so
you don't
this-
have any problem with people getting it, right?
No,
Okay. And you send them out before the 10th,
on the tenth,
on the 10th. Then it falls on Sunday,
so that's Monday.
so it goes out on the 11th. Remember what I said, okay? You have 15 days from the date of the bill or the date it was mailed. To pay a bill before you can assess late fees. That's the public utility commission, chapter 24 rule. So if they mail on the 11th, it's actually the 26th to pay the bill. Before you hit late fees, even though our late fees are applied on the 5th. So you gave people an extra day. Does she know that? Good.
Years ago, the bills were many years ago, the bills were sent out, and I think they received them by the 10th. And it's kind of changed over the years.
I just want to be fair. You guys understand what I said? 15 days to pay. From the date of the bill to the date of the script pay. So it's like. For the assessment rate.
Yes.
So if Sunday's the 10th, and they'll give it for the 11th, which late fee date.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, the utilities, that's just the admin portion of that building,
Usually expenses, they're the public work building.
it's the admin portion of that? Or is that the whole cost of that building?
Each department has their own facilities.
No. So we're gonna put it all taken out.
Sorry, but, yes, you're right, but right now, it's broken out by each department. So yes, this is the portion. If you look at history, even the historical was about $1,200, $1,200.
A month. How much?
1,100, 178,
A month?
you know.
Total,
Is that for the year?
just the admin portion. It's 2 hours portion, you get it, good?
Yeah.
The building should have, what's the utility bill for that building? 1,500 for that building.
That's a modular building.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Pardon?
That's fair.
Yes, it's a modular building.
It is.
So we can't call it a double wide.
It's not a double wide, there's no such thing as a double wide.
It was an office,
I didn't know when I was a kid.
it was, well, but there's modular homes and there are different
All right, let me give you a
standards.
lesson
In
here.
Florida.
In 1976, anything built before 76 is a mobile home. Anything after 76 is either a manufactured home or a modular home.
And that was an office building that was moved
Who made
in.
up those rules?
Huh?
Who made up those rules?
Those are
The
the
state.
rules.
That's state law, that I can't call it a double wide?
You call it what you want, but I
But-
can't call it.
And on top of that, that was an office building. A modular office building.
Not in the state of Texas. Okay, anyway, I just thought I'd ask you about that. Okay, where else am I going? All right,
Copier lease.
yeah, that's another interesting one. How many
That's
copiers do you have?
two.
Two.
in our building.
Two, are they both big ones? You don't have one in your office? John? Wow.
He uses maybe what?
Yeah, okay, do you, as the department head, as the guy, do you have anything in your office, do you ever work on anything sensitive or personal nature that you just,
Oh, yeah.
your eyes only? Do you have a code that you go in the copy machine?
Oh, no.
Then he needs his own copy. Got it?
Copier Thanksgiving.
Kind of like what they y'all put on the desktop in my office, he needs his own scanner.
Small as being a king closet.
Would you agree?
Any supervisor, they need their own.
They need their own.
Yep.
And that's just a, go out, buy one, they bought me one, and it's sitting in there, and it works great.
Yeah, for the library, we really go through.
We talked about the library, we talked about those folks that deal with personnel issues.
We'll probably do the same one
Department head.
for John.
Yes.
The one that. You
Okay,
guys for
so-
the library, so.
Okay, so we have a four before desk.
Is that through night? It's cheaper. It's cheaper.
4x2 desk. 4x2,
A TV tray.
right, okay. I'm serious, that has to be.
No, but, yeah, the copier lease,
That's your big machines, and, the city
Oh, I
leases
know.
all the machines.
I know, but, I mean, for the first 9 months,
Yeah, we try to buy one of them.
It's $7,531.
oh, no, we bought them at the hospital.
Yeah.
Or- Just-
It's $837 a month.
Pretty big leak there.
Yeah. But to,
That,
But
that,
I think that
this,
lease includes all the
everything.
printing, the printer, the
you get so much
toner,
copies
the
per,
maintenance.
yeah.
We don't pay additional for the.
The newsletter are pretty cool, right?
The newsletters and
Do you print the newsletters in-house?
Oh, the library will do
I was
that.
told to do that.
library does not do that.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore?
Okay.
For the longest, we did the newsletter up here. The library
That's
did
a lot
not.
of color, ain't it?
It is.
Alright.
And then-
Go ahead.
No, and then we have to send out the gas, information twice a year, so that's a lot of work as well.
Okay, utility bills use your stock. Okay, so, do you have a folder stuffer? Machine, folder stuffer, and your, how, money?
And like,
Mikey knows
So,
that.
and my key, I'm sitting in, like I said, your envelopes are already printed on it, and you turn it on.
He does everything.
Okay.
He does. He's jack of all trades.
Because it's bulk, and I'm only asking this because there's, most of the time you would think about this, but you have to sort it per zip code area, whatever, okay? First class, you don't have to, you don't have to sort it,
You're right.
just dump them all. And first class guarantees delivery in 5 days, bulk guarantees delivery whenever the heck you get. There is no guarantee. Think about that.
so ours go from here all the way to San Antonio.
All
As
the-
long as you know it by 12, yes, as long as.
Everything goes from San Antonio, from here to San Antonio, and back. Yes. Yes.
My last question is for the employee appreciation. I know I asked you last time, Mr. Dillman, going in the general fund, you had a state line item. I think 3,000 or some change. So this 2,500 is just added for those 7?
Medical water, no, it covers the public work, so it's all the water, gas, electric, all
Last
that
day.
people.
Oh,
With it
told you trip up in San Antonio? Recent one. The one you guys just went to.
Their employee appreciation,
Oh, yes, good stuff.
We got,
We went
a
bowling.
great time, though, let's have fun.
they did, our staff did,
Yeah, you didn't know about it. I didn't either.
Well, it's employees.
So the day before. That's what you got your t-shirt for. For that.
It was an employee appreciation.
Coast
There,
Tennessee.
there was a couple of council members who asked if they could go, and said yes. It was not an incentive for everyone, since this was an employee appreciation event for the employees, but I know the two of them showed up and we had a good time. And it was
So speaking of, is there a city policy in which we outline
Outline.
the left and right limits when it comes to employee appreciation?
So a lot of that, I'm not going to say yay, nay,
I'm
otherwise.
not saying
A lot
that
of
it's
it was,
true,
a lot
but
of
I'm
it was,
questioning.
a lot of it was created under the previous administration, and there's really basically no guidelines beyond that. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
But I will say, the employees are very appreciative because they look forward to this every single year. They forget it, but have one day that they go out, whether it's here in San Antonio, and have a good time, and they do exactly that. They have a good time because they work hard all year long, and they look forward to this every year.
And your recognition.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that, it's just a matter of it's taxpayers' dollars.
Got it, okay.
It just depends how you look at it.
On-
I mean, it's all,
Just a question.
yeah.
On the annual audit, we'll go back on this thing, do you think that's enough?
Yes.
20 for the enterprise
That's
plan?
their portion, we have our portion,
And going out for auditors, so we're pretty good on that number.
yes.
Okay, you don't believe, because I understand the single audit requirement is going to be in the general fund. You don't think there's going to be a single audit requirement here, the fact that you got a $500,000 community development block grant, and you got all these other things?
Possibly,
You don't think there might be a need for the general, for the enterprise?
there may, I mean, we can certainly,
I want to make sure.
I don't know, to actually get that audit.
Okay.
I know general fund, more than likely, we're gonna hit it again.
Thought I'd ask.
On the enterprise fund, I don't know that.
What are we doing with the rate study? Because I can take the, okay, who does the rate study and what are we looking at?
we are looking at outsourcing that.
Well, currently Synergy, right?
Yes,
They
used to
did
be
the-
Snyder.
Yeah,
When did you do it last?
we did our gas last year.
Last year, they
Yeah.
were full for gas.
They didn't do
I
everything?
think it was about,
Yeah.
They had done the previous one, what, 3 years ago?
Get an idea of what it would be more cost effective.
You know, you can do a water and wastewater one through Texas Rural Water Association that the city's a member of, and it don't cost to the city. It just takes personnel time, they'll guide you right through it, you can do it in-house on your water and wastewater. How do you like that one? How you like that? That's a benefit to be a member of TRWA. Okay, now your elected one is a little different, I understand it, but, that's a whole nother animal.
I think it was last year, this past budget year, that, the more I think about it, they were here presenting, and it was the gas rate.
Yeah,
Because we'd just taken on the
yeah, we
extra.
raised the rate,
Taking it over.
we adjusted, we changed the rate, we adjusted things.
Yeah.
I honestly, it'd be interesting to know these things, but I don't think there's a whole lot of room to adjust up, maybe down or something. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I'm just looking at that and saying, well, some of that cost can be deferred by services. Very painful. You know, and I know they can. Talk to, you have a certain rider that comes and sees you, does William White come and see you? Certain rider? I know Nathan does with wastewater, do you have one that comes with water? Then I will get you one, and then we can go from there.
And that's with the TRWA?
Upset cost, right?
And that's for water and wastewater? Is that what you, I'm writing it.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. How about the city engineer? We have a history of requests. Well, I agree with what they, go ahead.
So what we plan on doing is including that in our projects.
Also, moved. It's all gonna be for whatever they do work, like right now, they're working on some,
Textile project,
like,
the west, we call it West Castroville portion of what we have for water, sewer, electric, gas, as well.
So it still exists, it's just.
Yes.
The other budget part.
funding issues.
Under building repair and maintenance, you got $10,000 for floor repairs, siding repairs. Yeah, that's.
Well,
What do you
in our
mean?
modular room,
Yeah,
we were having some flooring issues, that we need to have replaced. And we just fixed our roof.
It's the siding that's kind of part, the floor is like kind of broken in some places. Some of the tiles are already kind of up and tripping hazards. We're fixing the tripping hazard.
What?
You're looking at anything.
we were.
I think it's,
We were before the recommendations.
no, I think it's a good thing. That building has been there.
Are you talking about the modular
Mayor
building?
Lee was the mayor when it was put there.
It's about 10 years ago.
Oh, it's more than that.
Mm-mm.
It's at least 10, probably 15. Because it was, warehouse building, where the metal building is, was the one moving building, come out to the street. And it went away, then there was a single one in another time. Then that went away, and then
With the double wide.
and that became permanent because there was a difference of opinions in the city, let's be it nice, about building a permanent facility.
That was a temporary idea
That was
because
to make it happen until the powers that be could come together on doing something permanent. Well,
We've discussed
the discussion over time has been, there's been constant discussion about. And there was a large portion of the community says build it on that site. But there's a growing number of people that say, there's people that say move to the airport. And then there's even more people that say no, move on the east side. So the city,
We had that problem.
the city owns 8 acres behind the Chevrolet dealership. It is. So anyway, there's been a conversation of this for at least 25 years. With no resolution.
So don't get cocky.
it'll still be here until it falls down.
And the other design concept, was created a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
For a building.
Now, before you get all curry, because we're talking utilities, but I will tell you that the previous council, last year's budget, we authorized the police department to do a needs assessment. They haven't. The chief just wanted to present it so you can tell them the building they want. And so everybody has a needs assessment. I haven't seen theirs, but I pretty much know what it is. But living in a closet is not good. Yeah. Anyway, yes.
Very way to-
So the answer to your building, you have flooring problems?
Was that from the roof leaks that came in? Yes,
So-
it was
Is it
severe.
the same or just?
It was severe.
the roof was leaking, yeah, and it's been fixed now, but it's just the traffic, and like, got 25 people constantly moving. It's just the water, it's just constant. And this includes the
No, it
rental,
needs to
and
be on a slab for that time.
it's not includes the rental, the money, like, they have a portable potty outside, because they only have one restroom for guys.
What?
So they go outside to the.
A porta potty, there's a porta potty outside, yeah.
Are we doing it?
We got one restroom
Yes.
for women and then one restroom for the guys. So that's, yeah.
We should say, not for 25 years.
It's a good building. It stayed up, I guess, considering, I mean, you know, how long it's been there.
You're not helping me, Bill.
Well, I'm just saying, they don't make them like that anymore. It was never supposed to be there very long.
It's a historic site, don't you know?
Yeah.
The old wooden building, the city warehouse was the first city hall. Yeah. 1948. Yes. And there's history of that property. There's a well, it's one, it was the first well in the city built in 1948.
We plugged it.
And instead of fixing it, they plugged it.
We had it evaluated. They said it wasn't good.
Training, travel per diem, 10 grand? For admin, is there no travel per diem, training in the other utilities?
So this includes
I think it was, money is for, yes.
Courses are $400 a piece.
Meals for us, backflow training for
Sierra,
the girls,
income training for building,
info, that's right.
48%.
Okay, let me flip to something else then. Flip to something else, computers, I'm not doing that. Where did I see it? Maybe I didn't.
Are we allowed to lump, professional association dues for transportation and training?
That's usually on the dues and subscription, can be anything from local government
Well, they have a
books and
line here that
such.
says recommend to be budgeted under education and training for professional association and dues.
Are you a member of the?
Normally we break it out just because it's a little separate.
Fifth page,
Oh, yeah. They can't.
it can? Okay.
No, it can't be.
We normally break it out so you can see what
You're
books
still-
and
Yeah.
different things. Yeah,
I got that.
makes it easier.
That way I can see what licenses.
What training is
Yeah, it
annual?
makes it easier.
Okay, the guys that have the water wastewater licenses, they're 3-year terms on each license.
They're in the admin portion?
That's myself.
Given Ricky has 4 licenses, each one requires, CEU is equal to 10 hours per license per year.
And where's the training for that?
That's what we were just talking about. Almost all of the training they need, if you're in a classroom, you have to watch the schedules. Texas Rural Water Association contract with SAWS, so almost all the training they need is that the, Klaus or recycling center down by 1604 and 37 down in that area. Okay, so almost every class they need, or in some cases on these, they do rules, they do online training. Okay, and online training, the classrooms are 20 hours, you gotta go there. The online things, you have 12 months to complete it, 20-hour course. So you have, whatever, over time. Online is beautiful. Occasionally, you get a little thing that you maybe go to the value, but there really, in my opinion, there really still need to go beyond that. Because all the training's right there, close by. But then there's also the occasional conference. The technical conference is the Galveston every year, the second week in July. The annual conference, which actually gets you also to the legislature, is in March in Austin. Places, so different things. But the training classes, the 20-hour courses, are about $400 each. So they needed to recover. Now, on the other side of the coin, I talked about this before, like for Jeanette or others, the ladies can do a basic water course to get water license. Not necessarily work out the field, but so they know what skill on the market is that too.
And those training certifications tie back into the duty descriptions?
Yes. So that's another point. You can go and get a whole laundry list of training, but what's beneficial to the city? Yeah. So you have to look at it, you have to empower and trust people like John to ensure that the training is beneficial to the city, and not just for the sake of getting the water list. Alphabet soup, so to speak. Ricky, for example, he has an A1 license. License of DCB, he has an A1 license, an A1 license. And he happens to back over prevention assembly tester. He has a customer service inspection. So based on his licenses, he's qualified to do anything the city does with law enforcement, including testing backlog preventers for people. They have to do customer service inspections. What we do. He's qualified to do that. He's also qualified to do type inspections on the tanks. So he's qualified by those 4 licenses to do almost anything the city does. You have Jeremiah has the same credentials. You have the gentleman, wastewater plant. Daniel has the same things. And then I think Max is pretty close enough. So you have like 5 employees that have the same level of credentials can do that.
Which is rare in a lot of places.
Yes,
It is rare.
we've had many years that we didn't have anybody.
When I worked.
Unfortunately.
I went to my account, my board, and I celebrated the day I had 8 people on a C-level license, which is really important to say. Never had that before, never reclaimed that, everyone's going through it. It takes a lot of, if you do it right, it takes a lot of pressure off you because they're responsible for that license, you're not. So they're held to a higher standard to an accountability.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
And anyway, they all require renewals and other people. But to the level, however the city wants to see it. Yes, ma'am. I didn't see $10,000. That's all. Anyway.
Well, the big, this portion of that was
Okay.
It's
Okay,
expensive.
I get
That's a
that.
big portion.
here's why, because we want to make sure that others are being able to do the billing besides.
Cross-training.
Yeah, cross-training.
Definitely.
Yeah, somebody's
Definitely.
out of pocket.
Do you have a notary down there?
Actually, I take my course tomorrow, finalize tomorrow.
Okay, be awful nice to have one.
I'm sorry?
Be awful nice to have one down there.
I already
We've
said
always
that.
tried to have one in each department so that
Absolutely.
if somebody's out, the other, like police, library, and all.
Thank you. Let me switch gears to the drug screens. The drug screen. Now that you're back to operating the gas system, okay? Whatever the city's policy may be on drug screening and drug testing, it elevated when you got gas because you're required by some law to have drug screens, drug testing, pre-appointment, suspicion, post-accident, all that. So it changes the game here. So I've had this talk before, so I'm going to ask you, this is the admin part, this is investigating other utilities, I know you do. But everybody that does anything to do with gas, in other words, even if you answer the phone and take a call about a gas, you're a gas employee under those rules. Otherwise, you cannot subject an admin person to an admin person. Okay? You can subject, but if they're a gas employee, you can't. So you gotta, so that's my question. If they're all taking calls on that, or they just say, no, pass the ball to somebody else, okay, but if they're taking calls associated with gas, then they need to be qualified to be able to answer the questions about gas. And they're subject to the drug screening and the program. So,
That's the city's
yes,
policy.
yeah,
That's the city's policy.
well, I don't know what that is, but
I
I
think
know
it's a
what
state.
the rules are.
Knows what these policies
I know what the rules are for the gas system.
I think it's the state, because I know when CPS had ours,
But we
they would
should
do
have,
random.
what is our policy on drug screens?
It's in our personnel, it's currently in our personnel policy, which is posted online,
Pre-employment
pre-employment, and then also getting testing as well.
is a, but there's no
There's a list.
post-accident.
Yes, there
There's
is.
a list of, titles that are subject to drug testing.
Okay,
So
And
that's
it
all
is
in our personnel
accidental.
policy.
I just want to make sure that we're covered the right way for regulatory purposes. I came across the check that I wrote for an enforcement action by the other side. So those things we don't want. Nobody wants. Okay, because if some somebody dropped the ball, we wrote up what we do. But, drug screening is an important thing. And I don't know what y'all's thought is, but when we had it here, we had an absolute zero tolerance.
Correct.
Zero. At least not mine. I don't know what the city does now. Just so you know, when it comes to a DOT employee, 0.08 is a regular person. CDL's 0.04. On DOT, gas, it's 0.02. So, yeah.
Positive for what?
Alcohol or drugs, I guess.
The drugs is a trace now, period. Drugs is a trace now. They do splits. And I had an employee here that had a post accident. Split it. Didn't get it. They called him and they didn't call him before he got it recorded. And then they called me. And we called the employee and he said, well, I was waiting for him to retest me. I said, no, you signed the paper, you authorized the split. You understand what I mean? It's got the sample in the freezer. You only pull the second one out, get the first one's back. You learn that hard. I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask to make sure we're covered up. I'm back, Valerie, correct, that we're following our policy and we're following the regulations for the guys. I see you're looking at big, no, I don't know what the current policy is. I just don't say follow.
Asking.
Yes, ma'am, I think we might do.
Well, are you talking about just the regular current policy? It's online, and then of course it's just like you said, it's employment, post accident. The gas is separate, and of course I know they used to do random when CPS was our maintenance.
And yeah, there's some.
They would pull them up in the right in rotation.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, anticipated administrative expenses. Okay, that's an easy. Anybody got any questions? Hogan? No, sir. Marchman? No, sir. Ms. Solis?
I just have a comment I have something to do with.
Yes, ma'am.
So, thus far, a month and a half on council, so to speak. We, as council, have been asked potentially to be making decisions on, for instance, the community handbook identifies there's no policy. Or city policy for the advisory board to even develop and or guide the development of the handbook. Number two, there's no policy on the operations of the pool, which I just found out as well. So my question is, when are we going to get to the point as council to identify the absence of policies from a governance perspective so that staff and advisory boards can start executing based off city policy? And it's nobody to blame, but a month and a half we identified this. So I guess my point is that I think we need to look, maybe having a workshop of some sort to discuss the absence of policies and start creating policies.
Well, we should identify the lack of,
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I can't look at you, I can tell you the personnel policy has never been, it's been turned back by the attorney with a bunch of red all over it. You haven't seen it, none of y'all have seen it, I've been working with it. He's administrator, we were in agreement with it, I've got to work with it. I can get it all to you, what the draft is, and we go from there. So we can have a great workshop on that. Because, just so you know, the policy was as an ordinance, and it's been changed without being an ordinance, so officially, all the changes that's happened over the last 20 years.
Right, because the impact is to our citizens, you know,
So, and then as far as the pool policies and things like that, I want to believe that it was policies and operational procedures and things like that, on a lot of stuff before. I'm not arguing with you, and I need to get through this stuff, and we need to, how much do you want to get involved in this stuff? Because number
I
one,
already am, that's why I've been asking legal.
yeah, number one, a lot of
questions
stuff
for
is
data.
remembering the fact that this is years and years. So I'm gonna show one point at the last administration, but our job is to set ordinances and the governance. It's the next level to draft the policies to make things go. But then there was a real hiccup in policies are set, but then they come back here from the top for the blessing and go on. So there's a disconnect in that. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the decisions made at lower levels or whatnot, with the absence of any policy, is creating some confusion.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And then having to justify, hey, where money is spent, and why things are this way, and why things are that way.
Right.
And it's not fair to staff either. And
Right.
if staff doesn't know that, hey, there should be a policy, then it's hard for them to bring it up to us and, hey, maybe can we get a policy?
And it opens up the city.
Right, so it's just an observation and a question, and I know Leroy is probably getting tired of me because I'm asking
No,
for some
he's
very
not.
significant data points.
Actually,
Because there is gaps not only from a communications perspective as far as what's being posted on individual department social media pages, lack of policy as well. So it's very, very confusing. So I'm all for, if you want me to be taking charge of that, I would definitely take charge.
absolutely.
When are we meeting?
I'll get back to you after the 4th of July. Let's get through this week.
Can we do it after budget? We have a lot of budget
No,
meetings.
I'll work with you. We need help getting stuff. It's really work.
Yeah.
We really need to get back to that. We passed an ordinance last council meeting. I made a comment, we passed the ordinance, this and I've been talking about probably 30 years. But it always gets to a point that we just hold in our hands. Well, let's just do it and move on and then see what works from there. It's kind of like the same thing when it comes to the policies. You get to pass, and somebody gets to a point that there's enough disagreement that we just throw our hands up, we'll worry about it later. No, we need to make the tough decisions and make it move on.
Right.
Okay, I agree. What do you got? I'm good, give me that eyeball.
I'm good.
Is there any, thank you, you guys have any questions for us? John?
I do on a separate budget.
Well, we can talk about your other budgets in a little bit, we're talking about this one right now. Okay, admin wise. Okay? Okay, so you're good if we take about 20% of it away.
No.
Okay, real easy. Don't get panicked when I said that either. Everybody sees you there. Is there anything else that Leroy we need to talk about? No? Okay, it is now 4:33 PM. We're going to adjourn this workshop. Thank you very much.
Before,
Wait, you want-
I do have a question for y'all.